Hey, what is up? We recently reviewed the Rawm ES21 Pro with the Omron switches that are absolutely lovely, but Mackeys sent over another version, and this is the ES21 M instead of the Pro. Also the same Rawm mice, but there's going to be a little bit of changes, so let's check it out. I'm expecting this mouse to look and feel exactly the same as the regular Rawm, the Rawm Pro that I already have. Everything is the same as the Pro series except for one thing, which is very satisfying, which is the switches, which is what we're going to talk about today. Now, we have a lot of people that are interested in the Rawm mouse, but not necessarily the switches, because it comes with Omron optical switches, and they sound like this. And of course, the Rawm ES21 Pro is literally a copy of the Lamzu Maya X. The only difference is the Rawm has a little bit of a slimmer waist compared to the Maya X, which is kind of wider by 2 millimeters. So just a little bit of a skinnier side, a smaller grip, you could say, by 2 millimeters. And it sounds almost the same as the Maya X as well, because they both use the optical switches. I'll let you have a listen. So they both sound the same, but let's check out the Rawm ES21 M. This has mechanical switches. Very interesting. Back to Omron optical switches. Back to Huano transparent green shell, green dots. I have to say I am not opposed to it. It's actually pretty nice. Now, we've covered the ES21 Pro, so I won't go into too much detail about the Rawm brand, but it is an up-and-coming brand. It's come up with a couple of designs that are basically Vipers and Viper V2 clones, Viper V3 Pro clones shapes. They do it very well, and they're notably most famous for their hot swappable switches. But it's not hot swappable on the ES21, unfortunately. They just made 3 versions of this mouse, 2 of them with the mechanical switches and the Pro with the Omron optical switches. Again, this is literally a copy of the Maya X, and it's actually not 100% copy, because like I mentioned, the grip is 2 millimeters smaller on the waist, so that's the only part that's different from the Maya X. But the shape itself is a kind of like a medium to large size. For my hand, it is absolutely perfect, because I've got 21 by 12 hands, and this size and the Maya X size is actually pretty perfect for me. This is, in essence, for my hand size, this is kind of like a medium small mouse. But if you had a smaller hand, this would constitute a medium large mouse, much like a G Pro Superlight or a Viper V3 Pro. Now, again, both mice, the ES21 M and the ES21 Pros, are essentially the same. They both come with the 8K dongle. They both have the 3950 sensor. They both are running Nordic 52840 MCUs. Very capable mice, very nice in the hand. In fact, they come stock with big PTFE feet, and these are not just regular PTFE feet, they're really well crafted PTFE feet. The only other mouse brand that makes as nice PTFE feet from these smaller companies that are not Lamzu is the Incot G23. Also has a similar PTFE feet, very flat, rounded edges that are not going to catch. Just really well thought. And this large PTFE feet, in my experiments and in my experience, perform the best when it comes to Kovacs scores. Now, on my ES21 Pro, I've installed the Obsidian Blacks because I've got 4 copies of this mouse. Don't ask me why. So I'm using these to test out the Tenta X Cataclysm glass skates, and they work pretty well. It's very nice. But on the stock skates of the ES21M, you're going to notice this is even better than dot skates, and I really don't know why. Just for some reason, these flatter, bigger, wider PTFE feet, they just seem to glide better, perform better, feel better over the glass surface. It feels, actually, you can hear the difference in the sound, how much louder the Obsidian Blacks is. Now, the Obsidian Blacks are not known to be loud, but you can hear the difference. Compare that with the Obsidian Reds. Stock feet again, much more quieter. Compared with the Lamzu Maya, almost as quiet. So PTFE, for some reason, is quieter than these Obsidian Reds and Obsidian Blacks. Now let's bring out a cloth pad and we'll try the difference again. So this is the DGLOW control pad called Liz, and again, big fat PTFE feet. They're just on a different level. It's not like the dots are not good, but you know, when it comes to a smooth experience, you could say, something about big fat PTFE feet just gives you a little bit of an advantage. These are the Vaxies that don't have huge feet compared to these. These big feet remind me of the Endgame Gear XM2WE. They also had the big fat feet, and that was my mouse of 2023. It was my favorite mouse, and largely because of that big fat feet. Compare that with the Lamzu, which also has fairly big feet, but not as big as those. Here you can see on the spin test, the Lamzu Maya does about one circle. And let's take a look at the ES21 with the big feet. You can see how much more it spins. 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Here's the Maya X. I'm doing my best to get as big of a spin as I can, and it just goes about 1 circle. And the Obsidian Black also about 1 circle. I'm trying to spin it as hard as I can. Now this is the Vaxi. 1.5 circles. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's something that is not spoken a lot about when it comes to big PTFE feet. We should be paying attention to it because it is really nice. It works really well, and you can feel the smoothness in the glide when you're using it, whether it be a glass pad or a control pad. You're going to feel the difference. It's going to help. And yeah, this is the ES21 M with mechanical Huano green shell switches, transparent green shell, and this is the Pro version with the Rawm opticals. I'll give you a final sound test. Rawm opticals. Mechanical switches. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, took some useful information. Do you like the Rawm switches or do you like the Huano switches? You have a choice. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.